first of all, it would be terrible to let folks who have paid into the disability, into the Social Security system, have their benefits cut by 19% next year. And what we're proposing is a solution that on a bipartisan basis has been done many times before. It has a very, very small impact on the retirement trust fund. I would agree.
If I may claim, which is, it's a big impact. Because I think it's a fiction when we look at the trust fund numbers. What matters in government is cash flow. And the cash flow goes negative 2019. And if you take out interest, it's in negative cash flow right now. So what we're doing is we're exacerbating that trend line with regard to future borrowings based on, again, borrowing from something that's either now negative cash flow or going to go negative cash flow in the immediate future, which plays straight into the difference between, you just quoted CBO. You've quoted CBO throughout testimony. The place where you don't quote CBO is in economic projections, because as you know, there's about a $2 trillion delta between where CBO is and where you guys are with regard to economic projections over the 10-year period. So if we actually run by the CBO numbers, your budget's about $2 trillion out of balance.
Actually, we're quite close in our economic projections to CBO. But I think the larger, where I think we can agree,
it's quite close. It's $2 trillion. It's quite close.
On the economic projections, that's not accurate. But
that is accurate.
I think where we can agree
where is that inaccurate?
I'd be happy to spend time afterwards talking about the specifics of where we are relative to CBO. I think the important point is where we agree is that while Social Security isn't a primary driver of our deficits and our debts, it is something that we ought to look at by doing a reallocation.
I've got 5 seconds.
The trust funds are
for the record, which is the budget this year increases government spending, revenue by 16.7% and expenses by 7%. Why is it a good idea? And I'd love to get this in written response. For God to grow faster than people's paychecks.
Mr. Dunn will be able to respond to that in written form. The gentleman's time has expired. Ms. Moore,